Hey guys, welcome back. Still working on making rocker panels here. Just got the first one done I showed in the last video. Started on a second one and got a little cocky, put too much bend in at the start here and screwed it right up. And then I tried to pound some of my bend out and ended up wasting a bunch of steel. So I had to start over, get all my radius put in properly. That's what happens when you're learning how to do this kind of stuff. So once I got my bend in, I have my piece clamped to the I-beam, and I started out after I broke this at 90 degrees. This piece was sitting flat across. So what I have to do now is this has to be bent up along this line. What I did was I marked with a Sharpie where I wanted the bend, and then starting with different size shims, I slid them underneath, and using this blunt tool chisel that I made, it's kind of like a bricklayer's chisel, but it's got a really smooth round edge that I sanded with 150. With the shim underneath, I take and I put this right on my line, give it a sharp crack with the hammer, and I work my way from one end to the other. What that does is it gives me a break point where my 90-degree bend is going to come in. As I keep going, I keep increasing the thickness of the shim, putting pressure up on this piece, and I keep following that line that I've put in with the chisel. Each time it gives me a little bit sharper bend. Once I have a definite edge here, then I can start beating away on it with my slapper so that I'm not putting extra prangs and stuff in it. So I'm going to keep beating on this and see if I can get it looking exactly like the other one here. Hey guys, back again. Another early morning. Couldn't sleep. Did too much stuff to figure out here. I'll just show you. I'm still pulling back all the layers of rust in the corners of this Fargo here. Hopefully you can see in there. Get you in a little closer. So what I've got, there's a whole whack of pieces here. This piece ties inside here. The original piece came down, had a bunch of really strange bends in it. I tried making one the same, and it's just too complicated to get to fit properly the way everything is. So what I did was I went with some 14 gauge steel, made a new piece that's going to work just as well there. I've got to build this new piece on the inside, a new piece on the outside here, and try and keep everything where it's got to go, because at the bottom here is the locating bolts for the lower bottom fender. So they're kind of just flopping in the breeze at the moment. Hopefully as I start building this in layers, I can get everything to where it has to be. There's another seam that runs here for the inner rocker that I still have to take apart and make a new piece for that as well. So as I keep going here, I'll bring you back and show you the different layers as I start putting it back together. Okay guys, I think I've got this rotten onion peeled back to the point that I can start putting it back together. So what I had to do, this little piece on the bottom here was rusted out, that tied into the hinge, and then the rocker panel is riveted to the top of it. This angle brace that goes in here was welded to the bottom of the original piece, completely rusted off. So I have weld through primer on everything. I'm going to get the pieces all set up here, and then I can bring the camera back. Okay, so we have the piece in position. I have holes drilled here for spot welding. The piece is in here. I'm going to weld it along the bottom edge. On the underside, if you can see, I have a row of holes for spot welds up there. So I'm going to get this all welded together, and then I can carry on with the other piece. Okay guys, so we're back again. I've got everything cleaned up. I re-primed everything on the inside. I primed this piece on the inside. I have it tacked in. Next thing we have to do here is install the last piece here. This is all primed, welded in all the way around. The next piece is this main support that goes on here. Well, what I'm going to do is get it all clamped in place here and get it spot welded in. Some stuff out of the way. This one's a little bit of a pain. Too much crap on the... nothing's ever adjusted right. Ouch, that's sharp. Okay, so next. Don't have enough hands. That seems to be what the problem is. Okay, one more clamp here. Right here. Next we have get everything positioned where it's supposed to be. If I can. See how that's going. Much better. Okay, so this piece is now in place where it has to go. I'm going to run all my spot welds. I've got a row across the bottom and a row down this side over here. And we'll bring you back. Okay guys, we've got this corner all rebuilt. I can now start on the rocker panel repair and the running board inside now that I've got something to fasten it all to. I do have one issue here. This lower fender bracket kind of fell off. Now I'm going to have to try and figure out how to put it back on, a new one on, and get it in the right spot. So we'll carry on here and bring you back in a little bit. Probably be a while. We've got to get this try and get this running board figured out here. So catch you in a bit, guys. Okay, so we're back again. What I've done is I cut out this set of rotten floorboard here. The step that you use to get in has 3 large 1/2-inch beads that are rolled into it. I went up to where the good material is in the step here. It's all tacked in. I still have to cut out this section of the step goes underneath the rear portion of the door sill, and I still have some rust to deal with here. I'm going to do that as soon as I get the rocker panel positioned underneath here. So I removed the rocker panel. It had just a shitload of spot welds in it there, and still have the inner rocker to build, but I think it's going to be easier to make that to suit the installation once it's done here. So the next thing I have to do is I'm going to break this edge all the way to the front using a piece of steel and a hammer. I'll just clamp the piece of steel on the underside where I want it to break, and then I'll just tap it down all the way along, work my way up to the front here. So anyhow, guys, that's where we're at now. Once I get everything put together on this side, I'll start another video here and go from there. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. We'll catch you on the next one.